How long did it take you to get to this point that you're at right now?
Yeah, man. I would say, like I mentioned a little earlier, a solid 10 years.
Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. January, February, March, April, May, June, July. You can pick a day. Got time for you. Always got time for you. Got time for you. Always got time for you.
Okay, we back. We
Yeah.
live. You know what I'm saying? I got a real, very special guest, man. It's been a long time coming, but wanted to get this interview off for quite some time.
Yes, sir.
I have Bronx native's own, Amadeus.
Yeah. You already.
That's a fact. How you doing, bro?
Brody.
Check how you doing, brother?
Incredible, brother. Thank you for having me, bro.
Thank you, man. Thank you
Yes,
for
yes.
taking the time out your busy schedule and do this.
Of course.
Off the rep, I want to say, what was your upbringing like?
Oh, so just start it off. Let's get it.
Yes.
No. First of all, just want to say congrats to Brody on everything you're doing. You already
Appreciate
know. We got to give each other our flowers. The work is not it's not being unseen. The work is being seen,
Appreciate
it's being
that, for
heard, and it's being it's creating impact. You know what I mean? So congrats on everything you're doing. The merch. I see the shorts, I see the podcast, I see everything, and it looks really good, Brody. So congrats on that. And only the beginning. Let's keep going.
For sure.
But yeah, Brody, I'm here. My name is Amadeus Kurjong. Happy to be here, part of the podcast. I am a creative social entrepreneur. That is my title. Foundationally and growing up, I was always an artist. I was gifted from above, right? As like the artist kid. I was always in the back of the classroom drawing, back at church drawing, right?
Fine.
And I was always creative like that, and it's something that has stood with me throughout my whole career, throughout my whole life. Now I'm 31 years old. Shout out to all my Libra gang, OVO,
Yes, sir.
1010, big Libra out here. We keep the balance, man. We do
sure.
this.
For sure.
Born in 92 here in the South Bronx from Dominican parents. I'm a first gen and grew up in the Boogie Down Bronx, Jabrody, Longwood, Hunts Point, not too far away from where we're at right now. We're at the Bronx Native Shop. You already?
That's what's up.
Yes, 127 Lincoln Ave right here in Mount Haven.
Plug it.
Yes, come through. You already got that merch, you got that heat, we got the vivos. But yeah, man, grew up in the BX, started at public school, Pier 62. Then I went to a small archdiocese school called St. Ignatius in Hunts Point, Monida. Shout out to them. And then I went to Cardinal Hayes High School. You
That's
already
what's
up Hayes and always loyal men. Yes, sir. No, and that school really breeds greatness. You know what I mean? There's
That's
so much alumni, so many amazing people that I'm like shocked. Like every week, I'm like, wait a minute, you a Hayes man too? But that's what it's all about. So then I went to Bronx Community College. Shout out to them, BCC. I'm currently on the board of Bronx Community College right now. We're doing a lot of great work over there. And then I finish off my scholastic, career, I guess, at the School of Visual Arts, SVA, with my bachelor's in design and film, right?
Fire.
And yeah, man, always with that passion. I always knew I wanted to do great things. I wanted to do more. I wanted to step outside the box, and that's what I did, and I'm still doing it. So
That's
yeah.
what's up. What influenced you to go into business for yourself?
Business, man. I've always, like I said, I've always been a creative, but I've always been an entrepreneur, bro. You know what I mean? And I think that comes from my dad. Shout out to him. He grew up in the Heights, Washington Heights, and he had his own business as well.
Dope.
He had a place where you could play pool. You could play cards. One of those low key underground spots. You get it rolling. You vibe out over there. So, and that's something that I always championed, right? Like having your own business, making it for yourself. And early on in my career, I had those odd jobs. I had those, starting off when you're in high school, when you're in college. And I really was like, man, like I'm putting all this time into these spaces, into these people. And yes, I'm getting some funds. cool, but like I need more, I need to work on my own thing. And early on, I was 19, 20 years old, and I remember thinking like, yo, I'm gonna start my own business, man. I'm gonna go out there, I'm gonna be an entrepreneur, I'm gonna put it all on the table. And it's been a beautiful journey, a journey that's lasted now 10 years.
10 years in, that's fire.
10 years in, yeah. Like as a business, in that
fire.
field, having my first LLC, all these things, and it's been amazing, man. Because nothing. I've always said this. Entrepreneurship is one of the toughest career paths you can take, right? Because it's a 24/7 job, right?
24/7.
Yes, blood, sweat, and tears. You put so much, and at times you don't get that. You know what I mean? But you have to keep building. I always remember that meme that everyone puts like. There's somebody digging a hole, and then it's like, and then somebody just stops, but they were right close to the diamond, right there. You know what I mean? So it's just like you got to keep going, you got to keep hustling, you got to keep grinding, and that's something that I love, man. And you got to be cut from a different cloth, man. To be an entrepreneur, to you got to sacrifice a lot, man. You have to cut down a lot. You got to cut it. You know what I mean? And you have to make these decisions that at times are difficult ones, but I'm here for all of it. I want all the smoke. I love every single part of it. I love the challenge, I love the struggle. I love being uncomfortable, and that's what it's all about, man, because no pressure, no diamond, and we're trying to shine bright, so let's get it.
That's a fact, bro. How hard is it starting a business, would you say?
Yeah, man, honestly, and this is something that I always, because we talk to the youth all the time. Yeah. We talk to up and coming entrepreneurs, people that are just in the startup realm. At times, I feel like we're living in a space where honestly, the hard part is not to start, because anyone could, go on LegalZoom. Yeah. Make an LLC and you're a business owner now. You know what I mean? There's so much, it's so much accessibility, which is amazing. We love that. But the difficult part is to continue, bro. The day to day, man. To be consistent, right? To continually produce quality work and to continue to impact and reinvent and adapt and pivot and be a problem solver, and that's a day to day thing. And that's really the difficult part, because nowadays, again, anyone could be like, oh, I've met so many people, right? I'm an entrepreneur now. Oh, I'm selling this. And yes, whatever you need, whatever I can help you, and da-da-da-da-da. But a year later, 2 years later, they're not, they're not continuing that. You know what I mean? And that's fine, because it's really not for everybody, and that is 100% fine,
Like I said on my very last podcast before this one, episode 20, this is not for the weak, man. Like, this is absolutely not for the weak. And consistency is key. Yeah. So you kind of answered this next question a little bit earlier, but I'm still going to ask. Yeah. How long did it take you to get to this point that you're at right now? Yeah, man. I would say, like I mentioned a little earlier, a solid 10 years, and, by any means, people be like, oh, you made it, you're successful, you threw the first pitch, you got a business, you got multiple businesses. Yeah. I acknowledge the accomplishments, and they're amazing, and I love it. I'm proud. I'm happy, but I'm just scratching the surface, bro. You know what I mean? I want to do so much more. I want to create so much more impact, change the world, create, incredible things, and it's only the beginning, and a lot of times I've heard this phrase before, the overnight success takes 10 years, and me now coming to that experience point of 10 years, I would say, yes, that's true, man. You know what I mean? Because in the beginning, and there's layers to it, in the beginning, the hype is incredible. Everyone's like, yo, you're killing, if you hit a milestone, everyone's with you. But one thing about everybody else is that they're not necessarily gonna be with you the whole journey, right? There's people that die down. There's people that, come in patches, they help in certain levels and certain stages, certain eras, and that's
it's like a roller coasters, right? Like there's high highs, high highs, low lows. Sometimes there's a lot of lonely moments, you know what I mean, and this journey. But it's about believing in yourself, right? No one could believe in you more than yourself, right? You got to go out there, every room, demand authority, demand fucking your eyes, ears to listen to you and be like, yes, I'm that guy, bro. I really come out here. I'm really Himothy. I really get down. I cook. I eat, I work, you know what I mean? We're gonna make it happen. We're gonna get these W's, So 10 years, bro. I've been doing it. I'm gonna be honest, because like I said, my entrepreneurial journey really started like when I was 19, 20. Now I'm 31. And it's been an interesting journey because I see the levels of it, right? In the very beginning, it was like I was considered like kind of like a little kid, and I felt like a little kid too, you know what I mean? You're more innocent, you're more like, when you're younger and you have that burning passion, not saying that passion is not there, but it is different when it's in the beginning stages, because you're just, and you're so and now I'm a little older, right? I'm in my 30s now, so things are a little different. Yes, you already know.
Likewise.
So I've seen that transition, right? I've seen people treat me like a little kid. There's nothing wrong with that. I was a little kid. I was 19, 20. You know what I mean? I got interns now that are 21 and 10, and I'm just looking at them and I'm talking to them and I'm like, yo, keep going, man, keep going, because that's what you have to do. And now, I'm beginning to be in this space, not necessarily like OG, but like I got 10 years of experience in my back. You know what I mean? Like I know what I'm talking about. Right. Like I know what I'm doing. Sure. We're working. We've made connections in these 10 years. We've made some thrives. We've made some achievements. We did all these things. Yeah. And that comes with a certain level of stature, right? And respect, and clout and all these things. So it's been interesting to see that, and not saying again that I've made it in any way, but we're in a certain space, and it's a beautiful thing, and it's again only the beginning. We got a lot more to come.
How do you manage your time?
Time management, man. This is like
I see you everywhere, bro. When I say like you are the most consistent. I'm looking on my timeline on the gram, TikTok. I'm like, this guy, you popping up in new locations. Always, if you need to know what's going on in the Bronx, he got you, man.
Follow us, the Bronx niggas.
I didn't even know about the they put the insomnia on for them.
Yeah.
And I'm like, every time I go on the page, it's like something new.
It's a new business. It's a new project.
Yeah, a new bro. Event. Like, how do you manage your time? Like.
No. Man. Time management is extremely important, and that's another in the array of skill sets that entrepreneurs have. Time management is definitely up there, right? Prioritizing is up there, because really, if you don't, and I always. And it's like I ask this same question to a lot of people, right? Yeah. Like, what's your time management? What's your routine like, right? When you wake up in the morning, because that really tells you what type of entrepreneur you are. If you're not planning your schedule, bro, like if you're just there, like and I get it. Some people like to be spontaneous, like I'm just gonna go out there and do my thing. But trust me, bro. You're not getting. You're not. There's levels to this. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you got to sequence your time.
You have like literally my time management. I have it like fucking. By minutes, you know what I mean? Like minutes, you know what I mean? Like, at 3:05, I'm gonna be doing this, and at 3:15, I'm gonna be doing this, and it's something that of course, I've had to learn. Yeah. It's not something easy. You need discipline, right? Because a lot of there's so many factors that make you unfocused, right? So many things going on in the world. Even today, like I felt like I was so tired because after Puerto Rican Day Parade, the after party, I'm so tired, and I'm like, I should take a nap right now. I was just thinking I should take a nap, and I'm like, but.
Prioritize sleep too for the people.
Yeah. No, facts.
Prioritize sleep.
I'm gonna be honest. In the last 2 weeks, I took a nap for the first time in like years. 2 weeks ago, and I'm gonna be honest, bro. I felt so much better. Like I was I'm dedicating at least an hour to 2 hour nap once a week. Once a week,
especially as we get in our 30s.
Yeah.
The body is so different. Like I'm experiencing things that's
you like, what the fuck?
What's going on with me, bro? I'm going to the doctor. I thought I had liver problems.
Yeah.
She said, no, you're fine.
Yeah.
And I was scared for like weeks.
Everything,
I'm like,
you know.
I'm thinking, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And she's like, no, you're fine.
You're fine. You're really healthy.
Yeah.
No, bro, and I feel that as well, you know. And it's, you know, I don't like to really put that out there because, you know, I don't like to put, you know, I mean, it's regular. We're growing up, but we're getting older.
Absolutely.
You know,
I got you.
But we got this, bro. We got this.
Oh, for sure. Oh, but man, smooth groove, and we move.
But yeah, and that's important to make time for yourself, and I see myself doing that a lot more now than before, because I feel like before, you know, you just have so much energy as a young person, you know, and that's totally normal, right?
Yeah.
And now we're getting to a certain stage that you need to, you know, health is wealth. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
There's sometimes, you know, that I've struggled with, like, you know, a little bit of anxiety, a little bit of this and that, and ultimately, if you don't check your health, if you're not good, how are you gonna really get work done and shit done? So super important. But I'm out here, bro. I'm working. I sleep when I die. You already know the vibes.
That's a fact.
Yeah. Let me.
Yeah, man. Shout out to the mailman.
Bro, it's mad late. Like, how he delivering?
I don't even know. I've never seen
like,
that.
what the? I'm like, who's there, bro? Probably some fake mail. That's crazy.
What's the greatest piece of advice that you've received from someone famous you met?
Okay, I got to think about this one.
Yeah.
Let me see.
One of those.
Yeah. You know, yeah, I'm gonna. There's one thing that, you know, just came to mind right now, and this is like take this, like, you know, this is real, right? Like the stats is real, and I'll say two of them real quick. So number one is the 80-20 rule as an entrepreneur, right? Basically, if you look at all the things you do, if you provide a service, if you sell merch, you know, whatever you do, 20% of that, it's what's making 80% of the funds. There's always that top percent, like, you know, like we have like a Bronx shirt, like one of our top shirts, you know, our hats, you know, those are selling like hotcakes, you know what I mean? And it's creating 80% of the wealth. So think about that, right? And always prioritize and look at what's that 20% and try to make that your 100%, right? Or how do you morph that? How do you make your 20% be that 100%? So remember that the 80-20 rule when it comes to any service, any, like as an entrepreneur, like it will, you can apply that to everything you do, right. And focus on that 20% to get more capital, because you already know we believe in wealth. We believe in breaking generational curses and being financially free, and creating that equity for us, you know. And then the other one is, I asked somebody once, you know, I had an era where I was just asking everybody, what's the meaning of life, right? What is the meaning of life, or like how do you make it? You know what I mean? You just these are some generic questions that you think about all the time. And then there was one that really stood out, and he was like, look, I'm gonna tell you this right now. Basically, what you put in, you're going to get that in return, right? Your blood, sweat, and tears, the hours that you put into something, you're going to get the fruits of your labor, right? If you don't put time into something, if you don't water your plant, if you don't, you know, spend time with the baby, if you don't read to it, it's not going to develop. It's not going to grow. It's not going to get to that point. So whatever you're passionate on, whatever you love, you know, put that blood, sweat, and tears, put those hours in there, and you're going to get that in return, you know. And I'm a testament of that, somebody who has tirelessly, you know, dedicated hours and sweat equity and sleep and all these things. And I'm seeing those returns, because I'm going to keep it a buck. If you were truly passionate, if you were truly motivated, you're going to make it, because you're not going to sleep until you make it. You know what I mean?
That's a fact.
So it's just like, and there's, again, I keep saying there's layers to this. There's realms to this, and then there is. But sometimes, you know, simple is more, less is more. So put in those hours, put in those building blocks, and build your castle, because you already know we about to go up. Let's get it.
That's a fact, man.
Yes, sir.
So I have a question of the week for my audience. What is the most impactful book that you've read ever? Drop it in the comments and let me know, because we read here. Reading is fundamental.
What about you?
Knowledge is power. For me?
Yeah, what book?
I'm gonna have to say The Way of the Superior Man, David Dita.
Wow. What is it about? I haven't read it.
Superior Man.
Yeah.
It's very empowering for men, especially rising men that's rising to power.
Yeah.
It kind of teaches you structure within yourself and how to maneuver around female energy, and it's about masculinity. I think I see that we are more personally around me. I see we kind of losing that a little bit.
Demasculine.
And it's like, and it's no shade to anyone. The nail painting, the bags, and it's all good. If that's your style, your aesthetic, it's fine. But I've always grown up around men's men and being in a room with real masculine men, and I like to keep that. So so I read about those things.
And it's also male mental health month too for men.
Absolutely.
So yes, thinking about all those things, and it's so interesting now because I do see a certain shift, I would say, because I mean, if you really look at the history, decades ago, there were, it was more masculine, feminine energy, and you can decipher what's what and who's who. And now, I think with the internet, with inclusivity, with having more spaces for everybody, we've been seeing kind of that blur, that those lines blur, and seeing different versions of like how does masculinity look? A lot of times we grew up in environments where toxic masculinity was the priority, was like the main thing, and now we're kind of seeing that kind of shit. There's people that are
for sure.
They're on that, but seeing that it is extremely interesting. You know what I mean? And I'm let's see what happens next.
For sure. What's the most impactful book you've ever read?
So I read a book, back in the days when I was around, that age, when I was starting to be an entrepreneur. I read a book that it was called Think It and Get Rich. It was basically it was a story of somebody. There was another book too, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. That's a really famous one. Sure. And just like I remember reading these books in the train, and just feeling so inspired because it's just empowering to like the dude was just saying like, yo, at times like when you're first starting, it could seem so difficult to make money. It's like when you're really in a struggle, when you're not, when you're in those low months and you're like, yo, why am I broke? And you're like, what's going on? Right? And it's like what the fuck, like something, but and then it was just like you just got to keep grinding, you got to keep going, you got to keep believing. I'm really big in manifesting and applying pressure, right? Talking about it, right? Making sure that good is coming, good energy, positive energy. I'm not here complaining. There's those certain people that just complain, just put out negativity, pessimist. And I'm just there like what are you gaining from this?
I had to cut a few friends off for that. I had a friend who always call me just bad news, and I love him. If you watching this, because he watches everything I do. I love you to death.
Shout out to
and
you,
it's
buddy.
You would always call me with bad news, and I'm like, bro, what I'm working on right now, I just need to hear some positive energy, bro. We going up. I don't want to hear about this, that, and the third. I'm like, yo, call me with something positive, bro, and then I'll holler at you. You know what I'm saying? So it's bittersweet.
That's a major fact, bro. Because, dude, imagine if you're talking about the same thing over and over again.
Yes.
If you're constantly talking about like negative, toxic stuff, I see a lot of people, just like in the drama, like everywhere, everyone's on their phone, like, oh, blah, da da da, or like, oh, she did that, you dead ass, da 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 da. You know what I mean? I'm just there like, bro, imagine all this energy you're spending, bro, in this, and people probably are going through some shit,
absolutely.
And you know what I mean? But it's just like sometimes it's just too much, you know what I mean? Like imagine if you're taking that energy and putting it into your passion, into your business, and you're just like, how to filter, that negative energy too. But yeah, bro, I've cut off so many many people, bro. Like when I first started, like, bro, and it's tough. And people, oh, you Hollywood now, this and that. Like, bro, it's really for the betterment of myself, you know, of mental health wise, you know, self-care. Like, it's super important because those type of people, they will drain you, bro.
For sure.
And they will make you fail, bro. Like, tell me your friends and I'll tell you who you are, bro. You know, that's a major thing. And you got to surround yourself by great people, you know, people that have strong minds, people that inspire you, you know. I love being around like other entrepreneurs, other creators, you know, other people that are ambitious because these conversations are the ones that evoke thought and evoke inspiration and empowerment. And then I'm go home and I'm like, bro, I'm ready. Like, you know what I mean? This shit is fire. But, you know, let's get it. Let's get it. Everybody out there, bro, don't waste your time, man.
Not at all. You ever been starstruck? Any celebrity ever starstruck you meeting them?
Who did I meet that I was like,
I
mean, a couple, like I just, end of last year, I connected with, Kerry Washington. Nice. You know, this is somebody who, you know, been in TV movies for decades, you know, as somebody who's respected in the world of actresses and actors, and then she like showed so much love to me that I was like, damn, like, you know, I felt like thank you, you know what I mean, because she follows us, she follows everything we do. Nice. And she was like, oh my gosh, like she literally came to the auditorium because she had like an event for her book, and like everybody was like, yeah, and then she like just targeted me like, oh my gosh, Bronx native, like I'm so happy to meet you. And I was like, wow. I was like, you did that? You know, like, yo, mom, what's up?
What's up,
yeah.
Bro.
So that was like a cute moment, like that was fire. Yeah. Who else? There was some people that I've seen perform for the first time, like Lil Wayne. I saw him perform at the 50th year.
One of the most incredible performers I've ever seen in my life.
He is, right?
Bro, I took my dad to the I Am Music Tour concert before he passed away.
Rest in peace.
And bro, I'm talking about the experience. I left with an experience.
Yeah.
Drake and Meek were fairly new, like they weren't who they are now. But Wayne's performance was like top level. I've never seen nothing like it.
He got hits upon hits, bro.
Back to back.
He's really goated, bro. He's really goated.
Yes,
but that was a moment.
That Lil Wayne concert will change your life. I'm serious.
No, and he's mad humble too, bro. Like he just be like, yo, thanking God every time, thanking the audience. I was like, damn, like that's what's up, man. But yeah, a couple more, you know, and. You know, I mean, we've seen a couple celebs here and there.
That's a fact. Yo, we be back, man. We're going to take a little brief intermission and get back with y'all.
Our unbelievably good story is this one right here, the story of the Bronx Native Shop. On October 2nd, 2017, we opened our doors to the community. A cultural hub, an interactive experience, an inclusive platform for expression, breaking bread, elevation for our entrepreneurs, creatives, artists, and beyond. One of the main things we wanted to tackle was health and wellness awareness. Growing up in the Bronx, I grew up seeing all the inequality. The Bronx is the unhealthiest county, number 62. We have some of the highest asthma rates amongst our young people, mental health issues, and much more.
Yes, sir. We live.
Yes,
sir.
Back
again.
Let's get it.
So I wanted to ask, how important is it moving forward with a team versus trying to do things yourself?
Yes, sir. Yes, man. A team is definitely needed. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. You know, we're just as good as we can get. You know what I mean?
For sure.
When we get, you know, in the beginning, you might be able to wear all the hats, you know, make it happen. You know, even now, you know, I wear so many different hats, you know, when it comes to all my different businesses. But a team is definitely needed. You know, delegation is needed. And is also one of the most difficult parts, bro, to find people that really fuck with the vision, that really understand, you know, that really can compliment you. You know what I mean? I remember I was talking to my professor once, and he was like, look, when you're looking for a team, make sure that everyone is different, because you don't want yes men around you. You don't want people with the same perspective, because y'all don't grow. You know, you stay in the same plateau. When you have different ideologies, perspectives, you know, things that complement each other, you have those engaging conversations. You solve these problems instead of looking at it from a singular perspective, you have all these people. So definitely look for diverse peeps in your team. Look for people that really are hungry as well, as much as you. Because a lot of times, with partners, business partners, one person's a little bit too hungry, person's not as, and then that's always going to bring issues. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Jealousy. Oh, this person's not doing his due diligence. And it's not easy. It's not easy to have business partners. I've had falling outs, I've had people that, hasn't been a good experience. And it's so important too. So it's tough. It's tough, but find the right people. And another thing that nowadays that I'm seeing is that everybody has their own agenda, right? Which is great. You know what I mean? I love that everyone is out here pursuing their passion, doing their thing. But you got to be mindful of that, right? Because when you have a goal, a mission, to have somebody come in the picture that also has their own business, that also has their own, you know what I mean? That could be a little bit conflicting as well, and could be counter productive, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's and everyone's different too. Everyone has their own journey. Everyone has their own, process. It's a very intense thing, but we got to find the right people, and you will,
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, because then you don't want to end up having a bunch of opportunists around you too,
Yes.
People who kind of just leech, and they just here for the moment. They not really here for the long haul. So
Yes, sir.
I definitely understand. I get it.
I like that hat, by the way, Birdie.
Oh, for sure. This is one I picked up maybe 2 years ago. I'm not really sure when I got this.
It's a minute ago, man.
I think about 2 years ago. I always pop in and out. You know what I mean? See what's fresh. I gotta keep a real Bronx stuff. I got a funny story for you. I'm out in Puerto Rico for the first time.
Why we just started laughing like, oh shit? No, that's fine. That's fine.
No, it's cool. I'm in Puerto Rico, right? And I'm repping the Bronx hard. I actually got that hat that you got on right now. I'm doing my thing. White tee. I got my jewelry. I'm thinking I'm doing. Well, I know I'm doing my thing.
Yes, sir.
We bagged these females. I was single at the time.
Yes.
Respectfully.
Yes.
So we bagged these females, and they from Queens, and she's like, "Why you got that fucking hat on?" And I'm like, "Yo, what's the Bronx? What you mean, baby?"
Facts. They be
yeah, but it's like, yo, the Bronx is dirty.
You really
and we
jacking
get into
the
all this.
BX?
I'm like, why? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, why the Bronx gotta be?
I'm gonna
dirty?
be honest. I hate people like that, bro. Like, they're so annoying, bro.
Yeah,
like, shut.
yeah.
Like, bro, we live
What
in
are
the
you
same
talking?
city, bro.
We live in the
like,
same
what the
damn
fuck?
city.
Like, but it is what it is. We
bro. She just like was trying to like crazy going on my head for like. I'm like, listen here.
It's like they mad, bro. It's like, shit, like, bro, we can't rep our home. Like, what the fuck?
I'm a proud Bronx native.
Yes, sir. Bro, but I want to say thank you also for always showing
sure.
love. Since you got to the neighborhood, you've always shown love.
Sure. Absolutely.
And it was, with Noah here, the open mics and everything.
Sure.
So thank you, Jabrody,
Speaking of which, the open mics, man. What made you want to get that going? What made you want to start that?
Yeah, man. So, the open mics, ultimately the shop for me, I always wanted it to be a cultural hub, right? A platform for not only selling merchandise. My idea wasn't to come into this space and sell shirts. I was like, I want to create a space that's different, bro, that we have events that people can come through, they can eat, they can break bread, they could engage, perform, express, because I didn't really grow up in a space that I can go and do my thing and stuff like that. So we wanted to bring that to life, and the open mics was part of that. One of our first events ever when we opened up in 2017 October. OVO, you're already the Vibes Libra gang.
Fire.
The shop is a Libra, you already know.
Yeah.
But it was an open mic, you know what I mean? It's just right, it suits us so much because this is a community space. Even when you see all the graffiti on the walls, this is everybody that's come to the shop. There's such a communal component to it, and what's more communal than an open mic, an open platform where everybody can come through and perform and do their thing. And we just started doing it 7 years ago, man, and 7 years later we're still here. We're still doing open mics. One of the top open mics of the city. We get the whole block turned. We got vendors, we got food trucks, we got DJs.
Definitely pull up and come through. You got to witness this for yourself. Like,
come through.
Sometimes I'll just sit there, I'll stand in the cut and just watch. He probably, when you don't see me later, I'll be in the cut just watching the talent, man. I love to see the up and coming talent. You had Lucky Banks here performing. That was dope.
Yes, Lucky
You know what I'm
Bang, shout out
saying?
to
So
him.
just seeing what's coming up in the Bronx is very important to me. How important is just keeping things Bronx to you?
Yeah, man. So, this is a brand that is about this Bronx centric. And when I think about the Bronx, and this is something that, it was, I don't want to say an issue, but something that people brought up to us like, hey, like, how can you create a brand that is just the Bronx? It seems so exclusive. It seems so kind of narrow, right? Like, well, okay, the Bronx, like only people from the Bronx are going to buy the merch. Only people,
Yeah.
But the Bronx is so much more than a borough, right? The Bronx is a movement, right? When you look at hip hop, when you look at salsa, like we really changed the whole world,
Absolutely.
And it's about really the struggle and coming out of nothing and creating everything, right? I think about the 70s, the 80s, when literally 80% of the South Bronx was in ruins, bro. Our buildings was on fire.
Yeah.
Our people were hungry, struggling, had nobody. And in the midst of all of that, bro, that's the ultimate struggle. Like, you know what I mean? You see the photos, you see,
sure.
and we've lived through it in a certain, growing up in the 90s, this and that. We saw some of that. And, not saying that we still don't have those struggles because, systematically and historically, those things continue to come into our present and our future. But that testament, I think about, when I think about the Bronx, I think about that metaphor of the rose coming out of the concrete, right?
Absolutely.
I'm that phoenix, coming out of the ashes, right? I'm talking about resilience. I'm talking about grit. I'm talking about hustle. I'm talking about smart, like creativity, ambitiousness. We wanted to be seen. We wanted to be heard. What did we do? We were seen and we got heard. You know what I mean?
That's a fact.
Graffiti, MC, hip hop, you know what I mean? All the elements, b-boy, breakdancing, all these things, really started here in the Mecca. And that's a testament. That's a thing that everybody should follow. These are values. These are skill sets. These are things that everybody in the world should connect with, right? This melting pot, all these cultures, diversity coming together and making it happen, collectively, all these flavors. And it's a beautiful thing, man. I would say it's one of the most beautiful things on earth. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, man. It's no place in the world. I lived in Texas. There's no place in the world like the Bronx, bro. I'm talking about there's no place in the world like home. You get what I'm saying?
That's a fact. You was born and raised here?
Yeah, for sure. I'm from Bronx.
Okay, but you lived there.
Area,
Okay.
From over there by Sound.
Got you. Shout out
Carroll
Sound.
Gardens, to be exact. Cross Street from Monroe. For sure.
Yes.
I'm born and raised in the Bronx, but I lived in Texas back and forth too. So it's like I said, there's no place like home. Like, I love it. I love the Bronx. You know what I'm saying?
Tell me what's like top 3 things
In
that you love
Bronx for
about
me?
the BX, in general.
Oh man, first of all, I'm gonna go and say it, man. We got some of the best food.
Woo! No, we really do.
We got some of the best. You could go in any of them Spanish spots, get you some good, the chicken chunks, the rice and beans.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? I would say summertime.
Yes.
Summertime is lit. You're gonna find that good cookout
Yes.
in any hood. Well, they're gonna bring the craziest thing I've seen, people bring a hookah outside with the TV.
No, facts. No,
It's just New York.
I've seen that around the block.
You get what I'm saying? And then you be like, yo, people playing 2K outside. They
Yeah.
Oh man, I'm gonna say that in 3. Man, Yankee Stadium.
Woo! Bombers, let's get it.
You know what I'm saying? You have to come.
Yeah.
You want to watch some good baseball, you got to come to the X, right?
Bro,
you gotta get on that train.
And to these things that you mentioned food, you mentioned just the vibes, outside. It's that authenticity, right? We are really in the last frontier. You know what I mean? When you look at New York City, when you go to Brooklyn, Williamsburg, when you go to some parts of Manhattan, some parts of Harlem, bro, it's not the same. You know what I mean? It's changing so much. It's a lot of the people are transplants. You know what I mean? And nothing bad with that. We accept everybody. We love everybody, of course. But we've lost that NYC, you know what I mean? That authentic, raw, that we had, the cookouts, outside,
The lingo is changing.
The lingo, everything, and that's part of New York City. New York City has always been a changing city.
Yes.
You know, and it will fucking eat you up, spit you back out. Like, New York City is that fucking doggy dog world. And even like with the immigrants, right? It's always been an immigrant city, right? In the
some of everybody lives there, bro.
Yeah.
Facts, of everybody. It's like you have Albanians, Pakistani. I could just name it. There's so many different cultures Bengali. Of people and walks of life here. That's what I love about New York as a whole. It's so many different people here, bro.
Yeah. And that's and I think that's what we still have here in the Bronx.
Not even to cut you off. Look at Super Ak. You know Ak. You know what I'm saying?
I love that guy.
He's the most New York. Authentic New York. I'm like, yo, and he's one of the most authentic New Yorkers I've ever met in my life, bro.
He really is. He really
like
is.
Straight from the hood.
He's a business owner. You know what I mean? Making it happen.
Business, you know what I'm saying? So that just goes to show you, like, you can really be anybody you want to be here, bro. It's no excuses.
Yeah, no, it's like that. You know that brand, New York is a nationality?
Yeah.
It's really like a nationality, bro.
That's
like New
fire.
York
That's
is really, check them out. Yeah, New York is a nationality. They're fire. They've shown love. Come to the shop, vibe out. They have a kiosk in Palisades, and a couple of young cats making it happen here, making moves. So that's fire. Shout out to them.
That's fire. And anything last words? Anything you want to motivational you want to leave with the people?
Yeah. You already know, man. We here again. Thank you so much, brother. Appreciate you heavy. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Let's keep going. Let's keep being consistent and pushing out that quality work. Everybody out there, man. The world could seem like it's on fire. You know what I mean? Like it's chaos season. But just remember, we outside this summer, right?
We outside.
You remember summer 2016? Right? It was an amazing summer. I don't know if you had an amazing summer. Yeah. That was an amazing summer, bro, for everybody.
It's a blur, man.
That means it was an amazing summer.
I think nothing. No, I became a dad.
Hey,
it was an amazing summer. I became a dad.
Yes, that's beautiful. Yeah. We back outside, man. Pandemic is done.
Yeah.
We making money. You already know. Secure the bag. Make it happen. We only live once, man. Enjoy every single moment of your life.
Absolutely.
Experience people to the full level. Work hard. Be a good person. Smile a little
Definitely
more.
Be a good person. I champion that. Be a
go
good
out
person,
there.
bro.
Say hi. Engage. Help out and be part of the change, you know what I mean? And let's change that narrative together. Check us out. You already know the vibes. Bronx Native Shop, 127 Lincoln Avenue, right here in the Boogie Down Bronx, Mount Haven. Check us out on our website, bronxnativeshop.com, and definitely follow us on all of our platforms at The Bronx Native. And just know we're changing the world one step at a time. It's not a brand, it's a movement. And to be going to the moon. Let's get it,
That's a fact, man. I'm your host, Mac Melly. Great interview. I appreciate you. And we out of here, man.
Yeah. Let's get it.
Fire.
That was Gucci?
That was fire.
Good go. That was 40. No, that was added.